very Kusampola and a very good evening to all the respected Sangha and scholars and brothers and sisters in the Dharma, and also members of the general public, those who have taken the time to come and be with us here today. I would also like to firstly thank the Center for Bhutan Studies and GNH, as well as the Central Monastic Body, on behalf of my co-author also, for giving us the precious opportunity yet again to present our paper. So please accept our gratitude. Okay. The reason why we actually chose this topic of Guru Yoga, well, we have listened in this past 2 days the various visualization techniques in Vajrayana Buddhism. We have learned a lot of technical details, very complicated details, and we have actually traversed the entire spectrum of Vajrayana Buddhism in terms of its very intricate tantric practices. Both Sunma, Tenzin Dadunla, and I would like to go back to the basics today, right? And I also would like to make a disclaimer that whatever that we are going to present here is mostly derived from the blessings of our gurus, the wisdom that they have imparted on us. And nothing actually comes from our own experience. It's all the Lama's advice. Okay. So, okay, can you please, let me see how can I do this. Here or here? Anywhere? I think I overshot. Oh, okay, right. I can't see. I'm very sorry, actually I've got very bad eyesight. I really cannot see. Okay, so it's too small. I really can't see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, what do we mean by Guru Yoga actually? Guru Yoga is actually the essence of the practice of Vajrayana Buddhism. It is the most simple and often regarded as a kindergarten version of all the other practices. Similarly, like Ngondro also, where in fact Guru Yoga is actually embedded in the Ngondro practices. And generally there is a misconception that you have got to go traverse from kindergarten to university. So once you finish your Ngondro and that's that, then we can jump to highest yoga, tantra and all this. But at the end of the day, if we really reflect, the Guru Yoga actually is embedded in every tantric practice. And this is why we thought it fit that we should actually go back to the basics today. So, Guru Yoga, as its name suggests, Yoga. Yoga is actually union with the nature of the Guru. So, the very purpose of the essence of Buddhist practice is to destroy ego clinging. And what better way to do it than to do it with a Guru Yoga? This is the words of Kyabje Digo Khyentse Rinpoche. So, the method is actually, with the help of the outer teacher, we can discover the inner teacher and the true nature of our mind. So that is the method. And what is the strategy? Through an uncontrived and heartfelt devotion for the Guru. Now, this is where people like me have great difficulty. Those who come from non-Himalayan regions and who have, studied secular studies in university, it's very difficult to submit our minds, body, speech, and mind to the Guru. I had great amount of difficulty, and I still do. I have not accomplished much, but I can say that the more I struggle with Guru devotion, the less I actually progress. And the reason why I didn't, because of this, there are a lot of things going on in the mind. It's like, why should I submit to another being? Because of lack of understanding, and then also the ego crops up, that I am a Sangha. Sometimes some of the Gurus are lay people, so why should I submit as a Sangha? All this kind of very strong ego clinging has come. And it has been plaguing for the many years that I've actually been practicing, not so many years that I've been practicing Tibetan Buddhism. So why am I here? I'm actually the least qualified person to talk to you about Guru Yoga. But because there is, I find that I discovered the benefits of Guru Yoga a little bit late in my practice, but at least I'm still alive and I've managed to understand it sooner rather than later, before it's too late. So what does Guru Yoga actually mean? Guru Yoga actually means that I I can't see it. Well, anyway, Guru Yoga is embedded in virtually every practice in Tibetan Buddhism. That is something that we have to appreciate. And it has a twofold purpose. The purpose is to conduce the student to recognize the natural state. And once the natural state, which is the true nature mind, is recognized, and then it actually allows for the recognition of the true nature of mind to reoccur. So first is to recognize one's true nature of mind with the help of the Guru. And the second is to actually to allow for the recurrence of the recognition to occur. And this is not what I'm saying, this is what my Lama has actually taught me. Okay. So the benefits of Guru Yoga practice. So we go to university, we study so many things, and we need lecturers in university to teach us all the worldly matters. But it's a little bit strange, actually, that in order to actually tread the path of enlightenment, we see it fit that actually with the help of books, that we can actually traverse the path. And it is a little bit too presumptuous that it is possible that we have just come from the lower realms and are entering a path where we have never been before, and we think that we can travel it without a guide. And now, this is where I was coming from, because of my university education. So we thought that reading books was something very easy, and that's it. Just read a book, pick up a book from the store, order from Amazon, and voila, I achieved all the tantric realizations. But that never happened. So who is a guru, actually? So guru, actually, according to the Yogi Mahasiddha Avadutipada, he said that anybody who actually inspires you to develop good qualities is your guru. So he learned from 6 different people, like a lady who was longing for her lover. He learned how to let go from the heron. He learned the bliss of letting go, the joy of letting go, and the perils of greed. And then from a hunter, which teaches concentration, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you can read my paper later. So the idea is that actually a guru can be anyone who actually conduces to developing your inner potential. But let's be more specific here. In the proper sense of the word, a guru actually means weighty, heavy, someone who awakens the Buddha from within our heart. So it's someone who actually destroys the darkness. Naropa once asked Tilopa, who is your teacher? It's someone who allows you to develop way beyond what you think your capacity is. So guru devotion is actually the basis of every practice in Tibetan Buddhism. And the basis of this devotion is gratitude. If we have no gratitude for the teacher, it is impossible that we can actually gain realizations on the path. So how do we cultivate guru devotion? So let's look back at the word Tibetan. Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a linguist. Mö is longing faith, like being awestruck, and Gö is humility. So, someone who is actually really inspired and awestruck by the presence, the aura of the teacher. And this inspires us to practice the Dharma. And that leads to the power to cut through the conceptual mind, the unceasing chatter of the neurotic mind. So, how do we relate to the Guru? Actually, there are 3 ways to relate to the Guru. Basically, the best way to relate to the Guru is to practice the teachings. The second is actually to serve the Guru, and the third and the lowest is actually offering material offering. So, okay. So, how do we actually practice Guru Yoga? So, the first thing is that we have to understand that we need to actually, how do we develop devotion is to see the Guru as the Buddha. And this is where we fabricate. First, it's a very unnatural process where we try to train to see the Guru as the Buddha. And then in everything that happens in our life, good, bad, everything becomes the practice of Guru Yoga. And then the step 3 is that we realize that our mind is none other than the Guru whom we have seen as the Buddha. And lastly, we merge our mind with the mind of the Guru. And that actually brings us beyond our hopes and doubts, fears, and all this conceptual mind. So I'll skip this. How do we actually find an authentic teacher? No, it's very important. If you do not examine a guru, it's like drinking poison because it actually kills our path to enlightenment. And for the guru, if he doesn't examine a student, it's like falling into an abyss where actually it reduces shortens the guru's life and also causes the guru's values, realizations to decrease. So I shall skip this as well. So to summarize, the qualities of an authentic teacher should be one who is learned in the scriptures, who has actually really practiced. It's not only, he actually has walked the talk and should actually embody the teachings in the body, speech, and mind. And of course, should have some realizations. So what if my guru does not have the qualities of a Buddha? What do we do? So it's like we have to follow the guru. Whichever guru is best and has the highest realization, that is the guru that we have to follow. And if we have already learned everything that we feel that we have learned from the guru, we cannot progress anymore. According to Lama Chökyi Nyima Rinpoche, it's all right for us to seek higher realized masters along the path. After all, a guru-disciple relationship is not like a marriage of sorts. We have to stick to the spouse for life. So keeping the samaya, the most important thing is that we have to remember is that we have to keep our teachers alive by not causing them sadness to disturb their holy minds. So we have to abandon belittling or deriding our gurus and also to disturb their holy minds. So whatever faults that we actually see in the guru are none other than the projections of our own minds. So that's the reason why we should actually think that the fault actually lies in us and abandon them as poison. Over to you.
Very good afternoon. So I'll be taking now the opportunity to speak in front of you all. Thank you for having me here. So now Venerable has talked about the Guru devotion a bit. Now I will be talking about the differences in the four traditions of our Tibetan schools. So basically the Guru Yoga practice is divided into like visualizations and the supplications and receiving of the four empowerments. It's just a general outline in all four traditions. But then when we follow the outline, then we also have differences in all the four schools, like especially when it comes to the visualizations and also when we do the supplications as well. And in visualization, for example, in Nyingma, according to the preliminary practice of the Longchen Nyingtik, we do the self-generation as a Vajrayogini, and then the front generation as a Guru Padmasambhava or a Guru Rinpoche. And then the supplication also, it differs. Like in this, we have so many differences. And then receiving the four empowerments is mostly same in all the four traditions. And then in the Sakya tradition, the outline of the Guru Yoga is according to, in particularly now when what I'm speaking is based on the short path of the most excellent Guru Yoga sadhana by Ngorchen Konchol Lundrup. And then in this also, the main visualization is the He Vajra. And then the rest, I think you can read the paper later on. And then in terms of the Kaju, I took it from the profound path of the most concise preliminary practice by His Holiness to Guru Jigme Choda, the present J. Khenpo of our. And then in this, we do the self-generation as a Vajrayogini, and then the front generation is the Buddha Vajradhara. So these are the differences that we have in the outline. And then rest, I think the aspiration, as I said earlier, the aspiration, supplication prayers are different because we have our own different lineage gurus and all. And then in the Geluk, according to the root text of the Sablam Lama Shiba Choga Detong Yermema, the method of offering to the Guru, the profound path, entitled The Invisibility of Bliss and Emptiness by Panchen Losang Shoki Gelsen. So they have this, the picture is the merit field, led by the Tsongkhapa in the middle, and then the main practice in that, the merit field, the main deity that they take is Tsongkhapa, as earlier mentioned in Kaju, especially in the Dokpa Kaju, and all this is the Vajradhara in the Vajradhara, and then Nyingma is Guru Rinpoche, likewise in Geluk is Tsongkhapa. So what you have to do in the post-meditation after the meditations. Like we usually forget about the post-meditation. Once we have finished, we finish it. Like just now Venerable was saying that we jump to the HYTs, highest yoga tantra, and we forget about the basic. And then in the similar way, when we practice this, Ngondro and all also, after the meditations all, we forget. So we have some things that we have to remember after the post-meditations. And then these are the things that, like, for example, in the ordinary circumstances, we're always told by our gurus that we have to visualize gurus above our crown of our head. And then also we have to visualize them while walking, sitting, eating, and working, and basically, and whatever you do. And then during the favorable conditions, most people tend to forget our gurus. So in this also, we shouldn't forget. We have to be grateful to the gurus. And during our unfavorable times, yes, we do remember. So we always pray to the gurus. And that is also that it is okay that we solely rely on him alone is okay. So that's why we have to follow the guru, not only in the beginning as a preliminary, as Venerable said, then after that it's like we drop or forget. It's not like that. We have to continue until the end. And then you can remember him during that sleep and the death. And then Lama Zopa Rinpoche said that when you spontaneously, constantly see the Guru as the Buddha, you have the realization of the Guru devotions. So, sorry. Yeah, I want to read. So, what is it? Yeah, okay. So the Yeshe Tsogyal is one of the students, very devoted student of the Guru Rinpoche. And then in this, the Guru Rinpoche himself has said that all the teachings of Buddha were present in the precious Master Padmasambhava. He was like a vessel filled to overflowing. And after I had served him in the 3 ways, pleasing to a teacher, all that he possessed he gave to me, the woman Yeshe Tsogyal. He poured it out as one from one vast into another. Yeah. I will skip this. And then the next one is, another one is Tashi Khedren, also a student of a follower of Guru Rinpoche, as well as she's one of the consort, one of the 5 men consort of Guru Rinpoche as well. She was also very devoted, not only to Guru Rinpoche, but also to Yeshe Tsogyal. And then because of her devotion to the Gurus, she managed to get realizations. And then the Kala Siddhi also is another consort of Guru Rinpoche, where she was actually, when very young, was abandoned by the family with her mother's corpse. And then Mandarawa has picked her up and brought her up, and then because of that, she was very faithful to her Guru Mandarawa. She also managed to she attained the high enlightenment. And then she also transmitted again later to her male students who also mastered, got enlightenment. And then Rechungma also is the same. So according to the Jitsunma Tenzin Palmo, the author of The Cave in the Snow, she said that Milarepa had a lot of trouble getting heat and bliss, whereas his women disciple Rechungma got all the experience in 3 days. So many lamas have said that women are especially good at tumu. So this one, she's also like a student of Milarepa. That refers to, I'm getting nervous now. Skip this. Yeah. So now, in terms of the difficulties in guru-disciple this relationship, I'm talking this not in terms here in Bhutan only or the Himalayan region, but this one I have observed in other countries as well. I have done the case studies here in Bhutan in 2 nunneries, but at the same time, I have seen that we have a lot of exploitations, sexual exploitations of the teenage students, the nun students by their male teachers, whether it is a monk teacher or the lay teacher. So in terms of this type of situations, how to deal with this? So His Holiness Dalai Lama always says that without generating anger or heresy, and thus creating obstacles that destroy your own liberation and enlightenment, and with Guru devotion, skillfully try to get permission from the Guru not to do the heavy negative actions that you cannot transform into virtue. So in a similar way, in many, many teachings, they say that if it is against the Dharma, or if it is against the Vinaya, especially if we have taken the ordination, if it is against the Vinaya, we can very politely say no. But the problem over here in Bhutan and other parts as well is that the nuns are not fully empowered, and then they actually doesn't know what are to be done, what are to be followed, and then they will take the advantage of that through this. So this misconception in Guru disciples, I have also observed. I mean, even the Venerable has been observing in her country, and I have also traveled to many, many countries, and I have observed about these. So most of the people actually, when they say that it is a Guru-disciple devotion, they take it as like following Guru everywhere and pleasing just physically, not from the heart. And the Guru devotion is like a feel-good, like a love, like a mere emotion for many of the people. It's not much from the romantic relationships. So that's why we ask, who is the root Guru? So in conclusion, I'll say that so many people... So in conclusion, I'll read that so many people meditate on the generation stage, but there's nothing higher than meditating on the Guru. So many people recite mantras, but there's nothing more profound than praying to the Guru. So in that way, it is that... I'm getting more nervous. You want to say something? Thank you.